Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. At least 201 people have been killed after joint US and Israeli strikes targeted multiple locations across Iran early Saturday. Reports say 24 provinces were hit, including sites in Hormozgan province, where a girls' elementary school in Minab was reportedly struck. Iranian sources said several senior Revolutionary Guard commanders and political officials were killed, though their identities have not been officially confirmed. Israeli officials claim Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and President Masoud Pezeshkian were among those targeted, but their status remains unclear. Iran delivered a crushing response, raising fears of wider regional escalation. Pakistan has strongly condemned the attacks on Iran and several Gulf states, expressing deep regret over the collapse of diplomatic efforts in the region. In a statement, the Foreign Office described the strikes on the Islamic Republic of Iran as unprovoked and unjustified, particularly at a time when negotiations were underway to seek a peaceful resolution. Islamabad has urged all parties to exercise maximum restraint and return to dialogue to prevent further destabilization in the Middle East. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has condemned the US and Israeli strikes on Iran, calling them a violation of sovereignty and a threat to regional peace. He also criticized Iran's missile and drone attacks on Gulf countries, urging all sides to show restraint and return to diplomacy. Erdogan warned the region risks being dragged into a wider conflict and said Turkey is stepping up efforts to push for a ceasefire and renewed negotiations. Iran launched ballistic missile attacks targeting US military bases in Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait, dramatically expanding the regional conflict. Bahrain confirmed the service center of the US Navy's 5th Fleet in Manama was hit, with smoke seen rising from the Jufair area. In Doha, Qatari officials said all incoming missiles were intercepted. Explosions were also reported in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, while Kuwait reported sirens and blasts. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said all US bases and interests in the region are within reach and warned further retaliation is possible. Gulf states condemned the attacks, with the UAE calling them a serious violation of sovereignty. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed that Israel and the United States have launched a coordinated military operation against Iran, calling it a move to eliminate an existential threat. In a video statement, Netanyahu said the joint action was aimed at countering what he described as threats from Tehran. He praised US President Donald Trump for historic leadership in supporting the operation. Addressing the Iranian public directly, Netanyahu urged citizens to challenge their leadership. US President Donald Trump confirmed joint US-Israeli military strikes against Iran, calling the operation a necessary step to defend Americans from imminent threats. Trump said the objective is to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons and to eliminate threats posed by the Iranian regime. He acknowledged potential casualties, but stressed efforts are being made to minimize risks to US personnel. He also urged Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps to surrender, saying they would be treated well if they comply. Pakistan's military has launched large-scale operations under Operation Ghazab lil-Haq, striking Taliban positions across the Afghan border. Dozens of hideouts were destroyed, hundreds of operatives killed, and key posts captured. The Pakistan Air Force conducted raids at 29 locations in Afghanistan, targeting Taliban headquarters, ammunition depots, and checkposts in Laghman, Nangarhar, Kandahar, Kabul, and Paktika provinces, significantly weakening Taliban operational capacity. Pakistani forces captured 18 key Taliban posts, including positions near Shawal, Angor Adda, and Zamalan. Additional bases like Shipola Camp, Khyber Post, Kamisar Complex, and Dawood Post were destroyed. Infiltration attempts in Qilla Saifullah sector were foiled. According to officials, 331 Taliban operatives were killed, over 450 injured, 104 posts destroyed, 18 captured, and 135 tanks/armored vehicles destroyed. 12 Pakistani soldiers were martyred, with 27 injured. The United States has expressed support for Pakistan's efforts to defend its territory against Afghan Taliban attacks. Top U.S. officials emphasized Pakistan's sovereign right to protect its citizens amid the ongoing border conflict. U.S. State Department Undersecretary Alison Hooker tweeted that she had spoken with Pakistan Foreign Secretary Amir offering condolences for lives lost and affirming support for Pakistan's defensive actions. Spoke today with Pakistan Foreign Secretary Balok to express condolences for lives lost. We continue to monitor the situation closely and express support for Pakistan's right to defend itself against Taliban attacks, Hooker wrote. Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump praised Pakistan's handling of the tensions, saying the country is doing well with Afghanistan, and commending the leadership of Pakistan's Prime Minister and military chief, calling them two personalities that I really respect a lot. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.